Hello and welcome back. This is Saxon Math. This is Course 1, Lesson 14, and it is the number line negative numbers. We're going to get right into it and we're going to go fast. If you need to review something, rewind. On the number line, positive numbers are to the right of 0. Negative numbers are to the left of 0. 0 is neither positive nor negative. Opposites are numbers the same distance from 0, like -5 and +5. Integers are all the counting numbers, their opposites, and 0. So those are some terms for this lesson. Using those terms, what number is 7 less than 3? Well, 7 less than 3 means you would start out with 3, like right here, and subtract 7. So if you're going to go 7 to the left, you would end up in this position. So 3 minus 7 results in a negative number. The number line, starting at 3 and counting 7 integers to the left, means the answer will be -4. So order matters in subtraction. If it was 7 minus 3, that would have been 4 as the answer. But 3 minus 7 equals a -4 in that case. Another example might be, let's say we've got 5 minus 2. Well, that means you would get 3. Let me just circle the answer there. If you had 2 minus 5, however, if you were at 2 and you went 5 to the left, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'd be in a -3 position. So order matters in subtraction. So there's the example I just happened to use. 5 minus 2 equals 3 is different from 2 minus 5 equaling a -3. So reversing the order of subtraction will result in the opposite answer. You can see 3 is a +3, and that's opposite of -3. All right, let's try this. So if we're looking at a number line, arrange these numbers in order from least to greatest. Most of you might already know what is the smallest amount when looking at these 3 digits. And oddly enough, there is no challenge here. This one is already in its order from least to greatest. As you can see, here's a -2. Here would be where 0 is, and here would be 1. So you can see that in the order that it occurs from left to right, -2 is the smallest, 0 is the middle one, and +1 is the largest one. Let's try another set of numbers. Let's say if we had 4, let's say -4 and 2. Let's arrange those in order from least to greatest. So if we looked at these positions, we got 4 would be right here, a -4 would be right here, and a +2 would be right here. So going from left to right, least to greatest, I can see that that would mean these would translate into -4 being on the left, then I would have 2, and then I would have +4. So that would be from least to greatest. Let's go to example 2. Compare -3 and -4. So what does it mean when we use compare? Is it less than, greater than, equal to? You could even get into greater than or equal, or it could be less than and equal. There's lots of ways to compare things here. So when we're looking at -3, that's right here, -3, and let me use a different color for us. So -3 is right here, and -4 is right here. So which one is bigger? Well, the one on the left is the least of the two. The one on the right is the larger of the two. So that means that negative 3, excuse me, negative 3 is greater than negative 4. Why did I do that? And why did I make that mistake? Well, if you look at 3 and you look at 4, you just think immediately, well, 3 is smaller than 4 when you're looking at the digits themselves. But when you look at where they are on the number line, a negative 4 is actually left of negative 3, which makes it smaller. So negative 4 is less. Would you rather have to pay $4 or $3? You can see that $4 is negative more value, a larger amount than negative 3. So in the sense of this, you want to make sure that you look at the number line. Negative 3 is on the right, negative 4 is on the left. That means negative 4 is actually less than negative 3. So negative 3 is greater than negative 4. Right, moving right along. Example 3 here. Let's just look at example 3, nothing else. Subtract 5 from 2. We've already gone through this one. So if you have 5 minus 2, I think everybody knows the answer to that already. That's 3. But actually this one is asking us the reverse, so it's kind of tricky, isn't it? 2 minus 5 just means the opposite of that, negative 3. So it's saying subtract 5 from 2. So we want to start out at 2, and we want to move 5 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which ends up being at a negative 3. So this would be the final answer to example 3. Example 4, arrange these 4 numbers in order from least to greatest. So if I'm looking on the number line, let me use a different color here again for these. So if I've got positive 1, I've got a negative 2, I've got a 0, and I've got a negative 1. So there's my order. It has to go from left to right, that direction. So that means I have the best order would be negative 2, then it goes negative 1, then it's 0, and then it's positive 1. That'd be from least to greatest. What number is 7 less than 3? So if we're looking at 3, here's where 3 is. What number is 7 less than 3? All we have to do is look on the number line. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 less than 3 would be a negative 4. And that's just the same as 3 minus 7, which would be a negative 4. If you flip-flop these and did 7 minus 3, you'd get a positive 4. But it's the reverse of that. It's what number is 7 less than 3. So it's like a little bit tricky to look at it the way, but you got to. All right, let's do letter A here. Compare negative 8 and negative 6. So if I want to just do a brief number line, I know negative 8's here. I know there'd be a negative 7, and then I know negative 6 would be here, and then negative 5, and it would go on, and there'd be a 0 here, and then it would just get into positive numbers, 1, 2. So if I continued it on, 1, 2, 3, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure I got them in there. So just looking at negative 6, I can see that negative 6 is actually greater than negative 8. Negative 8 is less than negative 6. Use words to write this number. Well, I just gave you the answer there. Go ahead and use words to write the number. Negative 8. Letter C, what number is the opposite of 3? So if you're looking on a number line and you have 0 in the middle, 3 is on the positive side, what number is the direct opposite over here? It's a negative something. And if you answered negative 3, you were correct. Letter D, arrange these numbers in order from least to greatest. So keep in mind, you're looking at negative numbers. So what's the smallest negative number? Well, it looks like negative 3. Looks like there'd be a -1 in there, there'd be a 0, there'd be a 2. So this would be the best order. -3, -1, 0, and 2. Letter E. What number is 5 less than 0? 5 less than 0, so if you're at 0 and you go 5 to the left is what that would be. You'd end up with a -5. Let me use another color here. Letter F. What number is 10 less than 5? So if we're going to go 10 less than 5, that's starting at 5 on the number line. So 5. And if we went 10 less, that's 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And that's 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'd have to go all the way over here. This would be a -1. This would be a -2, -3, -4. That'd be a -5. So in this case, 10 less than 5 would be a -5. And if we just did 5 minus 10, that's the opposite of 10 minus 5. If you think about that, 10 minus 5 we know is 5, but 5 minus 10 is the opposite of it, -5. Letter G, what is 5 minus 8? Well, just think about this. What's 8 minus 5? Do you know what that is? You know it's 3. So that means you know what 5 minus 8 is. That would be a -3 for letter G. How about letter H? 1 minus 5. Well, if you want to look at a number line, and here's 1 right here, and you went 5 to the left, there's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see where you'd end up. Or you could consider this. You know that 5 minus 1 equals 4. So you know the opposite of this one then, 1 minus 5, is going to equal -4. Letter I, all 5 of the numbers below are integers. Is that true or false? We have -3, 0, 2, -10, and 50. The answer would be true. Letter J, the temperature was 12 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. Use a negative number to write the temperature. So if it's -12 degrees Fahrenheit, that's what it would be. And you can just type out the word Fahrenheit. And in this case, if you're typing the degree symbol, you could just use degrees. 12 degrees. So instead of just using that little symbol, you can just use the word degrees Fahrenheit. Letter K, the desert floor was 186 feet below sea level. Use a negative number to indicate that elevation. So if it's -186 feet, there it is. Letter L, the stock's price dropped from $18.50 to $16.25. Use a negative number to express the change in the stock's value. So that means we need to take $18.50 and subtract $16.25 to find out what the drop was. And I'm not going to even borrow here. I know what 50 cents minus 25 cents is. But if I didn't, I would have to borrow here. That'd be 4. This would be 10. And then I've got $2.25. That's the change. But it would be a -$2.25 because it says use a negative number to express the change in the stock's value. So there you go, boys and girls. There's your practice set. Hopefully you did well. If you didn't, rewind the video and review anything that you may need to look at a second time or a third time. Understand what you're doing with the number line and negative numbers. All right, WP14, you will do in the next class period. Have a great night.